July 2005, you guys actually signed to Feeding Frenzy Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this record deal, and of course, how did they actually end up discovering you guys originally?
So we signed, I don't know, I wouldn't call it signed or anything, but we were playing shows in Seattle, and there was like a little punk house in Tacoma, I believe, at the time. And one of the kids that lived in that punk house decided, I think his name was Derek, but he decided to um like start a label. So he's like, I want your band to be the first band. And like we're just a small band. We're like, oh sweet. So like we went and recorded. Stu is actually uh he used to have a studio and stuff like that. So he just recorded us. So we went in and just recorded Stallone and basically gave it to this Derek guy. And this Derek guy took all the pre-sales and never sent any albums out to anyone and all that stuff. So it was basically like he ditched town and moved out on his roommates and everything. And last I heard, and this was probably 10, 15 years ago, that he was like a DJ or some shit now or something like that. But yeah, he took off somewhere else in the States and just left like a couple boxes of albums and which the roommates gave us. And every couple days someone would email us like, hey, we got ripped off on our pre-order. So we had to like spend our own money sending the pre-orders out to people and everything. And yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of, that's a common thread in like the history of Daggermouth. Like us, like people just fuck at us and us tried really hard and then nothing ever happens. But yeah, so that guy fucked off. And anyways, dude, did someone else reprint it? Like that State of Mind records came around. They were like a label based out in New York, and they were like, oh, we'll repress it and we want to do your next album. So yeah, so we ended up getting it once we sold all those Feeding Frenzy copies. Yeah, we moved on to State of Mind and started selling theirs.
And also, as well, one of the last Daggermouth questions I do have before we move on to your other ventures. On March 13th of 2007, you guys actually released my personal favorite album by you, which was actually Turf Wars. I was wondering if you could actually just tell us the story behind this amazing album, and of course, like, is it actually still available to be purchased or even streamed today in 2023?
Oh yeah, all our shit's on like I got all the rights back like when we did our reunion thing in 2018. um I ended up writing a label that we were on, State of Mind, and I was like, yo, I want all the rights, like I'm gonna put I want all the stuff back, I'm gonna put it up online myself and blah blah blah. And the guy wrote back and was like, absolutely not. And then I was like, okay, well, we've never seen any royalties from you, I'm gonna start looking into this. And then he basically said, as long as you don't come looking at us, I'll sign you the royalties over. So yeah, so we got the royalties back. Well, he didn't give us any royalties, but he took all the shit down and I put it back up. But yeah, fuck, I'm amazed you know the dates. It must be on Wikipedia or something. But yeah, it was a fun time. Like I remember we had a lot of like hype behind us at the time, and Stallone was still like, we're trying to find our sound. Like there's quirky moments in it, like because there was moments in this band when we first started where we were like, let's sound like Taking Back Sunday. Oh, let's sound like Moneen. Let's sound like like Stallone's definitely like a more quirkier album, whereas Turf Wars, I think that's where we like really bit down on like the easy core or whatever you want to call it, like the melodic hardcore type stuff. And we were also listening to, at that point we were strictly like, basically like, even though we were a poppier band, we were just playing like with hardcore bands, and the hardcore scene in North America really took us in. And we'd play with Madball, we'd play with Death Before Dishonor, we'd play with Final Fight, and bunch of rivalry record bands down in LA and the Bay Area and stuff like that. So I think just playing in that scene kind of influenced us to definitely do like a, just a bit more straight ahead. Turf Wars still has kind of some quirky little dance parts in it and stuff like that. But yeah, that album we just kind of went more straight ahead.
And I gotta say, my favorite song is actually "Hey Nelson, Go Jump on the Garage Band." What the whole album is phenomenal, but like if I had to choose just one to start the album off with, I gotta say definitely Nelson.
Yeah, that was always a favorite of mine to play too. I like the beginning part; it's all bouncy and fun, and yeah.